Hello and welcome to another lesson by Metal Guitar Stuff. Today we're going to talk about power chords. So what are power chords? Power chords are the chords that you hear all the time in rock and metal and even some blues playing. They're really simple chords. They only have to consist of two notes, the root note and the fifth note, but you don't really have to care about the theory yet if you don't want to. They're simple, they can be repeated in the same shape almost all across the neck, and you're basically going to be using them all the time while you're writing your own rock and metal songs. So I'm just going to show you up close how it's done. The first power chord that we're going to start with is the one that you're basically going to use the most for the rest of your life while playing metal. It's an open E power chord, low E. The thing that you do when you're going to find a power chord or construct a power chord is that you're going to take your root note, which is in this case our low E, and then all you have to do is go down to the next string and 2 frets up the neck. So we're going to go from our low E down to our A string and then up 2 frets. And then we're going to play those 2 notes at the same time. And there you have your basic low E power chord. We're going to, in a minute, discuss some extensions of the power chords, but this is essentially what you need to create a power chord. So let's move it up to some other notes. Say we're going to start on this G. And then we're going to go from this G down 1 string to the C, and then up 2 frets on the neck. C, C sharp, D. Play those 2 notes at the same time. There you got your G power chord. And this pattern you can move practically all over the neck. And the same goes for the next string. If your root note is A, an open A, you gotta play the open A string and the D string at the 2nd fret to get your open A power chord. Of course you can also play an A power chord at the 5th fret on the E string and the 7th fret of the A string. And as long as you stay away from your highest G, B and E strings, this is the pattern that you can move all over the neck. So you can even play power chords down here or up here. So that's pretty much all you need to know about making the most basic power chords. Now what you're going to encounter while learning songs is that you're going to see these 3-finger power chords, which are, instead of just, alright, let's say we're going to go back to our G power chord, just a G and a D. They also include 1 additional note. Now what this note is that it's just an octave. It's the same note as the root note, only 1 notch higher. So you got our G and another G here. So this power chord is essentially the same chord as the one with only 2 fingers. It only gets a brighter, fuller sound, but it still functions as just the same power chord. There's also another extension you can add to your power chord. You can do what's called an inversion. Let's say you have an E power chord, 7th fret of your A string, which is an E, and then you have your B on the 9th fret of your D string. You can do what's called an inversion on that by adding the octave of the octave below your 5th. So we would do it like this. We would take this B and include this B that's under here. So you have this. Now if you find this theory confusing, don't worry, you just have to memorize this shape, which is just a small bar chord. You have your 7th fret on your low E string, 7th fret on your A string, and 9th fret of your D string. And you can also move this shape all over the place. Now what this does is that it simply changes the character of your power chord. It makes for a nice variation. If you have a song that utilizes a lot of power chords, you can throw in a couple of inverted chords just to give it some extra punch. But I would not recommend doing it all the time because it gets old really quick. So you have to use it sparingly, but it can be used to great effect to create some more evil sounding, much more powerful sounding power chords. So if you know how to play 2-string power chords, 3-string power chords, and inverted power chords, you pretty much know what you need to know about power chords.